The dark side of fame. Justin Bieber tried to escape, a dream that turned into pressure. Fame is often seen as the ultimate dream of millions of fans, global recognition, and a life filled with success. But for some, that dream becomes something else entirely. Something heavier, something harder to carry. Justin Bieber was just a teenager when he became one of the most famous people on the planet. His music dominated charts, his face was everywhere, and his name became a global phenomenon almost overnight. To the world, it looked like he had everything, but behind the scenes, Justin was facing a reality that few people truly understood. A reality filled with pressure, expectations, and struggles that came with growing up under constant attention. This is the dark side of fame that Justin Bieber tried to escape, and the truth behind a life that was never as perfect as it seemed. Part 1. A sudden rise no one could control. Justin Bieber's journey began with simple YouTube videos, where his talent quickly caught the attention of millions. Discovered at a young age, he was launched into the global spotlight almost instantly. His debut success was massive, and his fanbase grew faster than anyone could have predicted. But this kind of rapid rise comes with consequences. Justin didn't have time to adjust to fame. He went from being a regular kid to a global superstar in what felt like a moment. There was no gradual transition, no time to understand what fame really meant. Everything changed overnight. His environment, his responsibilities, and the expectations placed on him. And while the world celebrated his success, the pressure began building behind the scenes. Part 2. Growing up in front of the world. Most people are allowed to grow, make mistakes, and learn in private. Justin Bieber didn't have that luxury. Every phase of his life was public. Every decision, every action, every mistake was seen and judged by millions of people. As he entered his teenage years, the pressure intensified. The world expected him to remain the same charming young star, but he was evolving, just like any other person his age. The difference was that his growth was happening under constant observation. This created a disconnect between who he was becoming and what people expected him to be. It's a struggle that many young celebrities face, but in Justin's case, it was amplified on a global scale. Part 3. The weight of expectations. With fame comes expectation not just from fans, but from the industry, media, and even from within. Justin was expected to consistently deliver success, maintain a certain image, and live up to the idea of perfection. But expectations can become overwhelming. The pressure to perform, to stay relevant, and to meet everyone's standards can take a toll on mental and emotional well-being. Justin has spoken openly about how difficult it was to handle this level of pressure at such a young age. The constant need to prove himself, combined with the lack of personal space, created an environment where stress and anxiety became part of his daily life. Part 4. Public mistakes and private struggles. As Justin grew older, his struggles became more visible. His behavior, decisions, and personal challenges were no longer private. They became headlines. Legal issues, controversies, and public criticism followed him, shaping how the world perceived him. But what people often overlooked was the context behind these moments. Fame can magnify mistakes, turning them into defining narratives. What might have been a phase of growth for anyone else became a global story for Justin. Behind the headlines were deeper struggles, confusion, pressure, and the difficulty of navigating life without a sense of normalcy. These were not just public mistakes. They were signs of someone trying to cope with an overwhelming reality. Part 5. The breaking point. There comes a moment when pressure becomes too much. For Justin Bieber, that moment led to a need for change. He began stepping back, reevaluating his life, and focusing on his mental health. He openly discussed feeling lost, overwhelmed, and disconnected from himself. Despite all the success, there was a realization that fame alone could not provide fulfillment or stability. This turning point was crucial. It marked the beginning of a journey toward understanding, healing, and regaining control. It also revealed something important, that even at the height of success, it is possible to feel completely lost. Part 6. Finding stability and redefining life. In recent years, Justin Bieber has worked to rebuild his life in a way that prioritizes balance and well-being. Through personal growth, relationships, and self-reflection, he has begun to redefine what success means to him. Instead of chasing constant validation, he is focused on inner stability. This shift is not easy, especially in an industry that thrives on visibility and performance. But it shows a level of awareness and maturity that comes from facing difficult realities. His journey highlights the importance of stepping back, setting boundaries, and choosing a path that aligns with personal values rather than external expectations. Part 7. The truth about fame no one talks about. The dark side of fame is not always visible. It's not just about scandals or headlines, it's about the internal struggles that come with living a life constantly observed and judged. Justin Bieber's story reveals that fame can amplify everything: success, pressure, mistakes, and emotions. It shows that having everything on the outside does not guarantee peace on the inside. The truth is, fame is not just a reward. It's a responsibility, a challenge, and sometimes a burden. And for those who experience it at a young age, the impact can be even more profound. The stage lights dim. The music fades out. The crowd slowly disappears into the distance. But for someone like Justin Bieber, it doesn't really end there, because fame doesn't switch off when the performance is over. It stays. It lingers. It follows you into every quiet moment, every decision, every part of your life that was once normal and no longer is. What the world sees is the success, the numbers, the fame, the global recognition. But what it doesn't see is the weight behind it, the pressure that builds over time, the expectations that never go away, and the constant feeling of being watched, even when no one is around. And maybe that's the part people don't fully understand. The idea that even when you have everything, it can still feel like something is missing. That the life everyone dreams of can slowly become something you're trying to escape from. And by the time people start to realize it, you're already deep inside it.